I've been excluded on Oprah, you know.
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded, yeah, man.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote. I mean, you grew up in South Central, you were successful at a young age, you have dignity, you say what you think. Like, I thought that was the goal.
Me too, you know. I don't know what it is, but I had a movie called Barbershop.
Did you have to groom her? Did she always have this body? Stand up just a moment, because no one saw you come in standing up. Now, this is what I call a bod. Very good, very good. Are you about 5'9", 5'10"?
5'9", and I tried to stay around 120.
When you look at it through today's eyes, when Oprah's like, stand up and show me your body, show us why you're worthy of being here.
We interrupt this program to bring you breaking news. The powers to be will no longer be. Denzel Washington on
I would say Oprah Winfrey, what people are beginning to do is see you for who you are.
Oprah Winfrey's influence has sparked controversy, with critics alleging she has damaged the careers of others to maintain her image. Denzel Washington and Ice Cube are reportedly joining forces to expose more about Winfrey's alleged manipulations. They aim to reveal how she has shaped narratives at the expense of others, potentially challenging her long-standing persona. As this situation unfolds, many are watching to see how it might impact Winfrey's legacy and the dynamics of power in the entertainment industry.
Ice Cube is claiming that he is still banned from Oprah Winfrey's show. Hey, what's up? I'm A-Dub, and check this out. So Ice Cube addressed his issues with both Oprah and The View during a sit-down with Tucker Carlson on his new Twitter show on Tuesday, July 25th.
What platforms have banned you?
I've been you know, I tried to go on The View. They didn't have me on The View.
Why?
Well, a few of the guests just really didn't like where I was coming from. So, or a few of the hosts, I mean. So that's what I was told by the producers. You know, I don't know if the producers was just copping out and using some of the hosts to not have me come on and explain myself, but...
You'd be a good booking for them.
I've been on there before.
Yeah.
You know, it's just when I've became an independent thinker, when I've, you know, I'm not, you know, I don't follow their brand of politics, I guess.
But if you can't think for yourself, then you're not really free, are you?
No, you're not. You're not. But I've been excluded. I've been excluded on Oprah, you know.
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded. Yeah, man.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote. I mean, you grew up in South Central, you were successful at a young age, you have dignity, you say what you think. Like, I thought that was the goal.
Me too. You know, I don't know what it is, but, you know, several of my, you know, I had a movie called Barbershop, you know.
Yeah, I remember.
That I wasn't invited to participate with the cast. I produced a show called Black White, and it was a very controversial show. And once again, they had the whole cast on, but I wasn't invited. And so I don't know.
On Oprah's show.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's.
But Oprah's obviously a saintly, godlike figure who's revered by all decent people. Why would she exclude you?
I really don't know. You know, that's something that I would love to find out.
Ice Cube has been voicing his issues with Oprah for many years now. In 2006, he told FHM magazine about the aforementioned issue with the cast of Barbershop. For Barbershop, she had Cedric the Entertainer and Eve on, but I wasn't invited. She's had damn rapists, child molesters, and lying authors on her show, and if I'm not a rags to riches story for her, who is? Other rappers have called Winfrey out in the past for being anti-hip-hop, including Ludacris and 50 Cent. In 2020, 50 even admitted in his book Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter that Gayle King once confronted him over the negative comments he's made about Oprah Winfrey over the years. Gayle is the real deal, a very sophisticated, secure, and smart lady. She's never afraid of a situation, so she marched right up to me and basically said, "Why are you talking ish about my girl?" The tenured rapper's past comments about Winfrey include, "Oprah's audience is my audience's parents, so I could care less about Oprah or her show." He also named his dog after the celebrated talk show host. Subsequently, King booked him for an appearance on Winfrey's Oprah's Next Chapter in 2012, and they made peace.
I would see moments where you would discuss your feelings on the culture.
Yeah.
And
on the rap culture, on rap music.
And everything that was wrong with the culture, was what was on my CD. And I was like, oh, she doesn't like me.
You talking about the N-word?
All of those things were in element.
Misogynist.
Right. Yeah, every single one of those things.
Views against women, violence, and just things like that.
Those little things. But like in that case, I was like, dang, she don't like me. Because I'm looking and there's so many different impressions at different points. And not to say that those things were wrong, but I was saying if I can't be a friend, at least let me be an enemy so I'll coexist. And the audience
interesting.
I was just using it as a strategy.
I've been shut out.
Wait, that sounds like right-wing extremism and whataboutism.
But I've been shut out. Some platforms will not have me on.
Why?
They don't like that I'm, an independent thinker. I'm not part of the herd. I'm not part of the go along to get along gang, so to speak. So, I'm an outsider. And so, I'm not part of the club. So I have to go places for one that I'm welcome and where I can voice my opinion without somebody, saying I'm a bad person and that they never want to have me on their platform again.
What platforms have banned you?
I've been I tried to go on The View. They didn't have me on The View.
Why?
Well, a few of the guests just really didn't like where I was coming from. So, or a few of the hosts, I mean. So that's what I was told by the producers. I don't know if the producers was just copping out and using some of the hosts to not have me come on and explain myself, but...
You'd be a good booking for them.
I've been on there before.
Yeah.
It's just when I've became an independent thinker, when I'm not, I don't follow their brand of politics, I guess.
But if you can't think for yourself, then you're not really free, are you?
No, you're not. You're not. But I've been excluded. I've been excluded on Oprah,
On Oprah?
On Oprah, yeah, I've been excluded. Yeah, man.
I would think you'd be the person Oprah would want to promote. I mean, you grew up in South Central, you were successful at a young age, you have dignity, you say what you think. Like, I thought that was the goal.
Me too. I don't know what it is, but, several of my, I had a movie called Barbershop,
I remember.
That I wasn't invited to participate with the cast. I produced a show called Black White, and it was a very controversial show. And once again, they had the whole cast on, but I wasn't invited. And so I don't know.
On Oprah's show.
Yeah, so I don't know what that's really.
But Oprah's obviously a saintly, godlike figure who's revered by all decent people. Why would she exclude you?
I really don't know. That's something that I would love to find out. But I can't tell you, if there's a single thing that I've done or said to her.
Have you noticed that it is more controversial to criticize Oprah than to burn the American flag?
Really?
Seems that way. I've never heard anybody criticize Oprah.
Oprah Winfrey is one of the most influential and successful celebrities of our generation. She started off in television and was able to build an empire off of her show. Since becoming famous, Oprah has said and done some questionable things. She understands that she can exploit trauma for profit and use other people to build her brand. Oprah has belittled celebrities and disrespected victims many times in her career. She has also been linked to sketchy people like Harvey Weinstein. And on top of it all, she established a hell-like school in South Africa that is full of scandal. Who really is Oprah Winfrey?
I think it's about a little less than a year ago.
Yeah.
You make a video. Mm-hmm. And I watched the video. I don't even know where you were sitting. It just seemed like you're sitting at a place and you're kind of sharing your frustration. And you posted it on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it goes tens of millions of views, right? And then afterwards, you go and you're like, if mainstream media doesn't want to have me on, I'm going to go and do my own thing, right?
Yeah.
And then you go on Rogan, you go on Tucker, you go all over the place.
Yeah.
Right? You go all over the place and you're kind of talking and you're doing what you're doing.
Hit Bill Maher.
You hit Bill Maher, which was kind of interesting. You've had a Bill Maher situation before where you called him out directly. It wasn't this one.
Yeah.
That was the Bill Maher of, I think, 8 years ago, 7 years ago. You guys had a moment. You know which one I'm talking about. The one that you were very cool and you just kind of put him in your place, put him in his place, but in a very respectful way.
Yeah. I called it a teachable moment.
Yeah.
Teachable moment.
Rob, have you seen this or no? If you've not seen this, just see if you can find it. It's actually very entertaining. It's 6 minutes, so we don't need to go through it. I think it's worth for the audience to watch for themselves. But anyways, and I don't know if it's Tucker you're talking to or whoever you're talking to. You said, The View didn't want to have me on. Then you said, even Oprah Winfrey didn't want to have me on. You know, when you're trying to promote your big three, you're trying to build your business and all this other stuff. And at that time, some people are like, well, you know, why don't they want to talk to this guy? Why wouldn't they want to talk to him? And then you say, you give him the, you know, maybe it's not, if you were to maybe put a new song a year ago, my visualization would have been, instead of saying F the police, maybe the title would have been F mainstream media. Right? Let's just say, if you chose to make a comeback. So, at this point of being in this business this long, Hall of Fame, Walk of Fame, you name it, you got all of them, right? Who has the most power in the entertainment industry?
Wow. I mean, it's really hard to say who has the most power. There's some very powerful entities out here, you know. Maybe BlackRock has the most power in Hollywood. Who knows?
You'd say BlackRock. I wouldn't disagree with you. They're on BlackRock.
Vanguard,
State Street, those guys.
Maybe they have the most power in entertainment.
You think more than like a Lucian Grange?
Yeah, he's just, you know, he could be fired.
Got a part in a movie in 1986. I called it They Couldn't. I said, right, that ain't funny. So to me, it was.
So 2018 was when I finally got a real quote. And that is the last time that I haven't gotten a raise since then. And each and every project that I have to fight for that.
You still have to fight.
I have to fight for that.
Like, let's send your son to Iraq. That's difficult. It's just a movie. It's like, relax. I don't play that precious nonsense. Oh, we're moving over. Get out of here. You know, your son got shot in the face. That's difficult.
Years in the game, and I hear the same thing, and I see what you do for another production, and when it's time for us to go to bed, you don't have any money.
About this whole Taraji, you know, I heard I was trending yesterday because people are saying that I was not supporting Taraji.
The entertainment world is buzzing with rumors about Oprah Winfrey and Diddy, particularly regarding the mysterious death of a TikTok user who exposed them.
Is acting like, oh, I didn't know. Oh, gee golly, right? And also, you want to bring in what is it, Marlon? The Wayfarer? What's that called?
Oh yeah. So not like it. Okay. So I'm gonna say it again. There are things I can't tell you here. All right. I can mention certain things, but I will not go into
how
them.
about just mention?
Okay. For those of you who don't know Wayfair, if you haven't been familiar with Wayfair, Wayfair was just like Wish and Amazon. You used to go on there and purchase. The problem was that Wayfair was also involved in selling people, children, people. And if you went to, and they would put them under certain titles of furniture names. Now, you would see like a table with a name, a type of table,
for $100,000.
And it would be for $100,000.
Crazy.
And people would go and purchase this table. You wouldn't get a table. You'd be purchasing a person.
Sick.
Oprah was involved in all of that. You want to know how she made her money? Just understand that's part of it.
Yeah, don't think that she.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, if you knew You have the influence to shut things down. You have government influence because she knew Obama, right? She and Obama was pretty damn tight.
Oh yeah, he gave her an award. He gave her an award.
So they know each other, right?
Mm-hmm.
She knew all this while he was a president for 8 years, right? You were telling me you're aware. You don't have the wherewithal to say, yo, I have some news that you could deal with some pretty bad things in America and get rid of this problem. Didn't do that. Now, what I want you to all understand that 40% of the people being trafficked were of African American type. Okay, so even if you were, like she said that old white people need to die, if you're that kind of mindset where you really don't like white people but you use their money, wouldn't you at least do something to try and stop the trafficking of your own people? But that wasn't done either. So, and that's all I'm going to say about that until my channel.
Okay, let me cut in for a minute. So listen, Marine, this is crazy that you said this, and I'm telling you 100% for a fact this is the truth. So you say anyone with half a brain has to ask, why was America so fascinated with Oprah? She wasn't pretty, she wasn't especially smart. Okay, listen to me. This is crazy that you see, Marine. We friends. See that? Did she call in yesterday?
That's mama. That's mama.
Okay. Listen, Marine, I'm sorry. We friends. I don't want to argue with you. But really, what you saying is so crazy. I was just talking to my wife about that earlier. I told my wife, I said, you know what's crazy? When I was younger, when Oprah was really jumping off, right? I used to look at her and I used to say, how the hell did she blow up like that? Okay, because I'm watching her and, she put on a good show. She put on a good, interesting, intriguing show. But hell, anybody can do that. I mean, not anybody, but most people. Hell, me and Marlon can do that right now. You know what I'm saying? That's not a big deal. And I'm looking at her, and I'm not, trying to be disrespectful, but she's not cute at all. I'm not saying I'm cute, but she's not cute. So then I'm like, okay, and you're overweight. All right. How the hell did you get so much fascination from America? Now we know why. I've always wondered that. I had to throw that in there because I've always wondered that, and now I can see what's going on. But what's dangerous about this is that these kind of people carry spirits. They carry spirits, and when you deal with these people, those spirits will jump in you and have you doing the same old mess, and you won't even realize what you got going on. So that's what's dangerous about dealing with people like her.
Now, mind you, there is a cult way that she handles things. I won't bring it up, but I'll read it. When she was asked about Harvey Weinstein, she said, "Of course I didn't know this was going on. Of course I didn't know." Now, if you know anything about people who are guilty, they have a certain set of root words that they will use to try and convince you that what they're saying is true. They have a very specific way of saying things. This, of course, I didn't know any of it was going on. I think where this movement will eventually lead us is to not accepting any kind of behavior that disparages you as a human being. Mind you, this is about women.
Right.
This is the response when confronted with something that Harvey Weinstein was doing. 90 different women. Understand this. A man who was your friend, 90 women, 90 women accused him. You get confronted about what you knew, and your response is, of course I didn't know any of this was going on. I think where this movement will eventually lead us is not accepting any kind of behavior that disparages you as a human being. Why am I willing to put up with an a-hole? Not only am I going to take your not take your sexual harassment, I'm not going to take any of your BS, period. That's your response to a man being accused of 90 different ways of harassment and what?
Disgusting. Marlon, excuse me for a minute. I'm just finna. If I look like I'm lost, I'm trying to make sure I'm not on that YouTube no more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no problem.
So, give me a second.
That's part of what I was going. Like her pushing to have Dave do certain things and wondering why he wouldn't do certain things, and upset with him because he wouldn't do certain things, i.e., dress in a dress. You will see some things happen over time like that on her show that will tell you exactly how she viewed it and what she did. It'll be an obvious thing. It'll be a very obvious thing. Even Dave was saying, yeah, I wasn't down with that. You see them trying to emasculate black men in America, and she's like, well, I don't know if that's what they really do. She was involved, always has been involved. She is still involved. Yet there are pictures with Harvey and her, and that's part of the thing, that Ruth McGowan is one of the main people that was harmed by this. And when somebody now this is part of the whole I blame the victim thing, right? So you're telling me that a lady is telling you, I know firsthand this man did this. And she said, I told Oprah, and I know Oprah was part of it. She is aware of it, didn't do anything. Your response is, I didn't know.
I didn't know. It would seem like you would have went, you know what I'm saying? And let's take away from the thing, but she should have went to the government at least. She should have went and told and reported this stuff. So Sabrina, a lady by the name of Sabrina Bittencourt, she did a report on it, and all of a sudden she committed suicide. You know, all these people commit suicide after they do reports on this stuff, and we just accept that. We just let it go. You know, like a lot of people that's dealing with the Clintons, they had committed suicide, they say.
He just happened to fall on a gun that was loaded and popped him
and then kaboom
from behind.
You know? Yeah. So just understand too that it's crazy. Oprah. It was something else that you had mentioned to me, Marlon.
Well, one thing I did. Go ahead.
No, I wanted to tie the connection from. I wish I'd have put a map up. If you can see the connection from the school and the camp, the farm that this guy that John had, it's across the water, but. If you just look at the location, so if you got time, go back and look at the location. Google it, the distance from the school and the farm, and it seemed like an easy transition. So what made Oprah, which is a double-edged sword, what made her be so hard on empowering women, which leads it into a whole new thing. She put all this power into women, women, girls. And the thing that I come up with Oprah is that Oprah was molested when she was younger, and bless her heart, I'm not teasing her about that or making a mockery out of it, because that's a terrible thing, and I would dread for anything like that to happen to any of mine. You know what I'm saying? So I don't think it's funny, I don't think it's a joke, and I'm not trying to say that it's a aha, that's what she get. But what I am trying to tie in is this woman is hurt. Same way with what's his name, the gay dude, the dude we talked about already, the actor.
You mean Tyler Perry? Yeah, Tyler
Perry. Mm-hmm. See, the problem with these people is that they hurt and they have not turned to God. See, when you don't turn to God and you got this pain in you, you turn around and you inflict that pain on people. And that's what they do. Oprah's doing the same thing. She was molested when she was younger, so allegedly by a family member, and she ended up getting pregnant, and I think she lost the baby or had to abort the baby, whatever. I forgot what it was, but the bottom line is she went through some things, and so now she's taken it upon herself to put other kids through those things with no conscience. And then on top of that, I get to do these things and get paid to do it. Oh, count me in. And that's exactly what she's doing. So you got to be careful when you're dealing with hurt people that has not turned to God. If I find out you hurt and you have not turned to God, I got to be super careful with you, because you never know how that person is going to act out. And this is what she's doing. She put herself in position. How she got in that position exactly down to a T, I don't know, but it's really odd that she blew up like that. and she just like, come on now, look at her.
I do know how she blew up that way, but like I said, that particular part of things you can't touch here. I'm just saying, I know exactly how she got.
And how did she meet these people? And yeah.
Oh, well, okay, that I can talk about.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so I don't know how many people know about the Bohemian Grove Society. And people will tell me, oh, that's conspiracy. No, there was video footage of it. So if you don't want to believe it, then say that you're ignorant and you don't want to believe it. That's fine. You can call yourself ignorant and we will accept that you're ignorant and we'll move on. But it's happening and it's real. Now, people might talk about she didn't get into this via the Illuminati. That was a whole different thing. How she got into this was just like how every other rap star gets their popularity. You have to perform a certain thing. You have to give up a certain thing, namely your soul, and you get a certain thing in return. Now, I want you to check the progression here, okay? No name Oprah. She can't really act. I want people to understand that she is not a good actor. Not a good actress. She is putrid when it comes to the camera. She got a role in The Color Purple because she could cry.
Conspiracy theories suggest that they may have played a role in this incident, although these claims lack solid evidence. Ice Cube's recent statements have added to the intrigue, but specifics are still unclear. This situation highlights the complex relationships and power dynamics in the industry, emphasizing the need for transparency and accountability.
Pairs up with Denzel Washington to expose Oprah taking from black actresses. All right, let's check it out. Let's see what this takes us, guys. Let's get it.
I'm just tired of working so hard.
Okay.
Being gracious at what I do, getting paid a fraction of the cost. You get tired. I hear people go, you work a lot. Well, have to. The math ain't mathin'.
The man, they offered me $600,000. He said, I'm not going to tell you that, Denzel. He says, but I can tell you this. The first 2 or 3 or 4 films you do in this business will dictate how you're perceived.
There's always a new drama in Hollywood every day. And this time, it isn't just any drama going on in Hollywood. There have always been numerous conspiracies against the renowned American black host Oprah Winfrey. However, recently, 50 Cent has paired up with Denzel Washington to expose Oprah for her exploitation of other black actresses. 50 Cent has recently joined the conversation in the middle of the dispute between Taraji and Oprah. He's criticizing Oprah for being a Hollywood puppet and taking advantage of black actors. This isn't new for 50 Cent. He's been calling out Oprah for years. He accused her of using black actors to build a billion-dollar empire and then eventually abandoning them. He was among the first to support Monique when she spoke out against Oprah and Tyler Perry for ruining her career by underpaying her for her role in Precious.
So Tyler Perry says to me, listen, you may really want to consider promoting this film. Okay. Because if you get nominated for an Oscar award, your next film is $3 to $5 million.
All right, so really quickly, guys, we got to interject here. When it comes to the movie Precious was great. I definitely think that Monique played the part of Precious's mother so well that it completely destroyed her career going forward. I think that honestly was the reason why she just kind of went ghost for a very long time after that, guys. And when it comes to Taraji P. Henson, I do think that if she's playing lead and she's making a lot less, then that's obviously an issue. If she's a second or tertiary actress, I don't know if she should be getting as much as the lead actress or actor, I guess. But let's see.
And if you win it, your next film is $6 to $8 million. I said, Tyler, who you talking to? I'm a black woman. Where do they pay those type of salaries, brother? I said, what I cannot do, Tyler, is work for free. I've done what I was supposed to do. I cannot go overseas and do this for free, Tyler.
Now, 50 Cent is once again backing Taraji in her fight against Oprah and the other black actors whose careers Oprah allegedly harmed for her own benefit.
got
What do you make of all the fake news and it affects
If you don't read the newspaper, you're uninformed. If you do read it, you're misinformed.
So what do you do?
That's a great question. What is the long-term effect of too much information? One of the effects is the need to be first, not even to be true anymore. So what a responsibility you all have to tell the truth, not just to be first, but to tell the truth. We live in a society now where it's just first. Who cares? Get it out there. We don't care who it hurts. We don't care who we destroy. We don't care if it's true. Just say it, sell it. Anything you practice, you'll get good at, including BS.
How do you feel about roles available today for African American males in the movie industry versus 20 years back when you started?
It's much better now. It's much better now. I was, there were no roles like this. You know, I did well, I don't want to talk about other films or other filmmakers, but I've been in the game, whatever it is, 35, 40 years. It obviously wasn't like that when I started. If you got a role at all, which is why I thought I'd just be doing theater the rest of my life. I really didn't aspire to be a quote-unquote movie star because I didn't see anybody that looked like me anyway. So I didn't tell jokes, and I wasn't going to be that third wasn't named in the back. So I got too much ego for that. So I just said, well, I'll do theater then. But it is much better.
What came first? That's a great question, Jacqueline. People like Spike pushing the envelope, getting their films funded, going out. Long
before that.
Gordon.
Let's talk to the historian, man.
Who are we talking about?
Come on. I'm talking about Steve, because Steve knows.
What are we talking?
I'm talking about I'm talking about from Stephen Fetchit to Eddie Rochester. Everybody did what they had to do, and they laid the groundwork. We can name them: Gloria Foster, Hattie McDaniel, James Edwards. Edwards was before Sidney. Paul Robeson. You know, they laid the groundwork for us.
But saying creating roles the way.
If it ain't on the page, it ain't on the stage. So you got to write it. You can't sit back afterwards and go, well, it's his fault because I ain't got it. Well, did you know anybody that's writing what you say? August Wilson is writing how we feel. That's why I'm producing all 10 of them. Because of all those people who laid the groundwork for me to be in the position I'm in, I'm going to make sure that there's hundreds of roles for the next generation and utilize the power that I have at this moment in order to do that. And nobody's going to get in my way.
You know, incarceration rates in America has been a problem, especially as opposed to minorities. Do you think we've made any headway?
I think it's more important to make headway in our own house. By the time the system comes into play, the damage is done. They're not locking up 7-year-olds. I was in Chicago a couple of 3-4 weeks ago, and we saw these little kids on bikes with masks on the side of their head, like 5 or 6 of them. And the driver said, yeah, they're little yummies. Google Lil Yummy. Lil Yummy was an 11-year-old murderer, and he got murdered at 11 by a 14-year-old. Wow. He's doing life now, a 16-year-old. You blame the system? Where was his father? It starts in the house. It starts in the home. And yeah, well, my father got locked up. Well, where was his father?
So why did he need a black director? Could a white director not have?
It's not color. It's culture.
Explain the difference, because I think we're
Steven Spielberg did Schindler's List. Mm-hmm. Martin Scorsese did Goodfellas, right? Steven Spielberg could direct Goodfellas. Martin Scorsese probably could have done a good job with Schindler's List. But they're cultural differences. I know, you know, we all know what it is when a hot comb hits your hair on a Sunday morning, what it smells like. That's a cultural difference, not just a color difference.
In the comments, share your thoughts. Is Oprah Winfrey's career at a crossroads? If you liked the video, hit subscribe to stay tuned for more. Until next time, keep it real.
Mocking women. Dylan Mulvaney, I don't think is serious whatsoever. You got a gay man who has a lust for fame, fortune, and what does he do? If it's being gay is not working out for you, you become trans. And you try to make a lot of money, which is what Dylan Mulvaney has done. Dylan Mulvaney is not an example of women. He's not even trying to be a woman. He walks around with a 5 o'clock shadow and dresses up in women's clothes and mocks women.
Facts.
He's berating women. I have never in my life seen a woman act like Dylan Mulvaney. Not one person on this panel can show me a woman that's as flamboyant and radical and twitching and twisting and acting like Dylan Mulvaney.
Are you insane? Did you watch the Barbie movie? What are you talking about? What,
You're talking about
who
a
are you
movie.
to
I'm talking
talk
about people
about
in
who
real
a
life.
woman is? You're
Real
a man.
life.
This is
Well,
absolute
who
nonsense.
are you to talk about?
I'm not telling anyone who a woman is, but I'm certainly not telling someone who isn't a woman.
I've never seen a woman.
Do you think Dylan Mulvaney? You cannot compel people to use
I'm
the
not compelling
language
people,
you
but I
want
want
them to
people
use.
to be kind.
I am kind.
You're just
I
calling-
am lovely.
You're calling her
I am
mentally
lovely.
unwell.
He is mentally unwell.
That's not
Am I-
nice. That's very
excuse
unkind.
me, I'm
Everyone
sorry.
on this panel so
If
far has had zero
if
empathy
you saw
for
someone-
any of the people we're
you saw
discussing.
someone- You've had no
I have
empathy.
more
You
empathy
don't want
for
to hear
Riley
other people's opinions.
than Riley has
You
for
don't want to
literally
hear
anyone
other
else.
people's opinions.
Yeah, Brandon, coming to you.
Everyone has an opinion. You may not like the opinion, which is
But
fine.
where's
I
the
don't
love?
agree with you.
Where's
it
the love?
doesn't matter.
It's a not lying.
That's you think love is lying to people and deceiving people. I think love is telling people the truth and being consistent across the board. Dylan Mulvaney is crazy.
Where's the dignity?
Now let me tell you
Where's the
this.
respect?
Let me tell you this.
Where's the
Let's
respect?
put this in perspective.
Where's the respect?
Because I think people get caught up in the gender role thing. Just imagine if a person was white and decided to identify as black and did all of these crazy things that
This
they
argument
thought
has been had so many times.
stereotypically, listen, that they did stereotypically what black people would do. We would be outraged.
We would.
It would be a sham.
I agree.
We would not accept it. And so we shouldn't do that. What Dylan Mulvaney is doing is wearing women face. The person is not a woman. He's not trying to be a woman. He's impersonating
Honestly,
negative
like I can't
perceptions of a
continue to
woman.
sit here listen, because a lot of this is to do with sport and how you feel it's unfair because you're up against people with
It is
you know,
unfair.
a bigger body, right? So do you think
With
it's
men.
unfair that someone who's taller than you or has more strength than you can be in the same team? Is that the argument we're making here? Is that what's unfair?
I think it's to do with the criminal.
All right, let's move on. I want to discuss a couple of other things before we finish. One is Oprah Winfrey. We may even get some agreement on this. We might do. Oprah Winfrey's fought back tears because she was basically caught taking these weight loss drugs, Ozempic, I think. She said it stopped her blaming herself for being unable to control her body shape with willpower. Of course, she was the front woman for Weight Watchers and had to give that up when she was caught not actually doing anything the Weight Watchers tells her to do, but basically taking a tablet to lose weight. I want to play the clip of Oprah talking about this.
I took on the shame that the world gave to me. For 25 years, making fun of my weight was national sport. And then I read the headline that Mr. Blackwell, the tastemaker of the time, called me bumpy, lumpy, and downright dumpy. Because when I tell you how many times I have blamed myself, because you think I'm smart enough to figure this out, and then to hear all along it's you fighting your brain.
I'm afraid I like Oprah, known her a bit over the years, but she was caught basically defrauding the world, right? Because she was a spokeswoman for Weight Watchers, and yet quietly and secretly, and denied it, actually, she was taking one of these weight loss drugs. We think it may have been Ozempic, it was something similar if it wasn't. But she was just caught. Brandon, I mean, to me it was the deceit and the hypocrisy. And I think it's been pretty damaging to Oprah, this. And no amount of her tears, pretty crocodile tears, I think, no amount of that is going to change my view that on this one, she really pulled a fast one on the public. And in particular, all those women that looked up to her and were following what they thought she represented, Weight Watchers, and their guide to how you lose weight, when in fact she was popping these pills secretly behind everyone's back.